For over 30 years, Oando PLC has been more than just an energy company. It began with the dream to provide energy that powers homes, fuels businesses, and drives development across Nigeria and Africa. From our early focus on downstream operations, where we redefined efficiency and accessibility in energy distribution, we are now evolving into a major force in the upstream sector. Today, Oando enters a transformative era. We are not just continuing our journey with our new asset acquisition, we are redefining it. A Bocha Oil Center with a liquid export capacity of 120,000 barrels per day. This facility integrates advanced technologies to maximize oil extraction and processing, reinforcing our leadership in the energy sector. Ras Terminal, a state-of-the-art terminal that serves as a central hub for crude oil export, highlighting Oando's global operational capabilities. OBOB Gas Plant, a state-of-the-art facility with a processing capacity of 1 million standard cubic feet per day, showcasing our commitment to efficient energy production. Obanbiri Gas Plant, a vital link in our gas production chain. This plant plays a key role in processing and distributing clean energy, contributing to Nigeria's energy security. Kwale Okpai Independent Power Plant, with a combined capacity of 150 million standard cubic feet per day for gas processing and 450 milliwatt for power generation. This integrated facility underscores our focus on sustainability and contribution to Nigeria's power grid. These assets are more than just infrastructure. They are the foundation of our mission. Behind every success are the humans of Oando. Their passion and expertise ensures our work is not just about energy, but about empowering lives. Our commitment remains steadfast to lead Africa into a future of sustainable energy, to uplift the communities that have supported us, and to invest in the growth and well-being of our greatest asset, our people. Together, we are powering a brighter, sustainable future, one where innovation meets impact and where every individual has the chance to thrive. Oando PLC, energy to inspire. For over 30 years, Oando PLC has been more than just an energy company. It began with the dream to provide energy that powers homes, fuels businesses, and drives development across Nigeria and Africa. From our early focus on downstream operations, where we redefined efficiency and accessibility in energy distribution, we are now evolving into a major force in the upstream sector. Today, Oando enters a transformative era. We are not just continuing our journey with our new asset acquisition, we are redefining it. A Bocha Oil Center with a liquid export capacity of 120,000 barrels per day. This facility integrates advanced technologies to maximize oil extraction and processing, reinforcing our leadership in the energy sector. Brass Terminal, a state-of-the-art terminal that serves as a central hub for crude oil export, highlighting Oando's global operational capabilities. OBOB Gas Plant, a state-of-the-art facility with a processing capacity of 1 million standard cubic feet per day, showcasing our commitment to efficient energy production. Mbadiwe Gas Plant, a vital link in our gas production chain. This plant plays a key role in processing and distributing clean energy, contributing to Nigeria's energy security. Kwale Opai Independent Power Plant, with a combined capacity of 150 million standard cubic feet per day for gas processing and 450 milliwatt for power generation. This integrated facility underscores our focus on sustainability and contribution to Nigeria's power grid. These assets are more than just infrastructure. They are the foundation of our mission. Behind every success are the humans of Oando. Their passion and expertise ensures our work is not just about energy, but about empowering lives. Our commitment remains steadfast to lead Africa into a future of sustainable energy, to uplift the communities that have supported us, and to invest in the growth and well-being of our greatest asset, our people. Together, we are powering a brighter, sustainable future, one where innovation meets impact, and where every individual has the chance to thrive. Oando PLC, energy to inspire.
Distinguished shareholders, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. May we please rise for the national anthem.
Nigeria, we hail thee, our own dear native land. Though tribes and tongue may differ, in brotherhood we stand. Nigerians all are proud to serve our sovereign motherland. Our flag shall be a symbol that truth and justice reign. In peace, oh, back to honor it, and this we count as gain. To hand unto our children a without stain. Oh God of all creation, grant these our one request. Help us to build a nation where no man is oppressed, and so in peace and plenty Nigeria may be blessed.
Distinguished shareholders, it gives me great joy to welcome you all to the 46th Annual General Meeting of your company, Oando PLC. I'm extremely delighted to have you all attend this meeting. Please note that this meeting is being held virtually in compliance with the Business Facilitation Miscellaneous Provisions Act 2023. This act is aimed at promoting the ease of doing business, eliminating bottlenecks, and ensuring transparency in Nigeria. The Act amended Section 240, subsection 2 of the Companies and Allied Matters Act 2020, and thus empowers public companies to hold their meetings electronically. Therefore, in line with the provisions of the reference laws, this meeting is being held virtually and streamed live on the company's website and YouTube channel. I hereby request that Mr. Alex Adio unmutes and leads us in opening prayers.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman. Good morning, Mr. Chairman. Let us pray. Father, in the name of Jesus, everlasting God, creator of heaven and earth, we thank you for a bright day like this. We thank you for the life of our group chief executive, the chairman, the entire board, management, staff, and shareholders of Oando PLC. Lord, we are here to look at the present position of our company, Oando PLC. We give necessary approval that we enhance the better growth. We pray that we take preeminence in the name of Jesus. Chairman, this meeting in the name of Jesus. Let the network be favorable, O Lord, and after the approval of the resolutions, give our board the grace to implement it without fault. Let there be nothing natural or otherwise that will truncate the success of this company called Oando. In Jesus' precious name, I pray.
Amen. Thank you, Mr. Adio. The representative of First Registrars and Investor Services, our registrar, to confirm the number of proxies received and the proxy report thereon.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Good morning, the Board of Directors, the shareholders joining online, distinguished directors, ladies and gentlemen. As the registrar for Oando PLC, I am pleased to report on the receipt of proxies and the state of quorum for today's annual general meeting. We have received a total of 1,207 valid proxy forms representing 8,801,336,565 ordinary shares of the companies, which give a total of 70.79% of the equity of the company. We confirm that the total number of shares represented this meeting exceed the required quorum. This is our report. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Lawal. We are pleased to inform you that Mrs. Folashade Ibidakbobe has been appointed as the new Chief Compliance Officer and Company Secretary of your company, Oando PLC, effective 8th of August 2025. May I request the Company Secretary, Mrs. Folashade Ibidakbobe, to confirm that there is a quorum formed for this meeting.
Shareholders, members of the Board of Directors, representatives of our regulators present at this meeting, ladies and gentlemen, I warmly welcome you to the 46th Annual General Meeting of Oando PLC. I hereby confirm that we have a quorum for this meeting.
Thank you. Following the confirmation by the Company Secretary that this meeting is properly convened and constituted, I now declare the 46th Annual General Meeting open. In compliance with Section 301, subsections 1 and 5 of the Companies and Allied Matters Act 2020, I wish to notify you that in addition to the disclosure on page 227 of the 2024 annual report, the Register of Directors' shareholding is available for your inspection on the company's website. Further to the disclosure on page 52 of the 2024 annual reports, the records of directors' attendance at board meetings held during the financial year 2024 are also available for inspection on the company's website. This is in compliance with Section 284, subsection 2 of the Company and Allied Matters Act 2020. I will now introduce the directors present at this meeting. First, we have Mrs. Fatima Nana Mede, Independent Non-Executive Director.
Good morning.
Next is
distinguished shareholders. You are welcome to this 46th AGM meeting. Thank you.
Thank you. Next is Mr. Ike Osakwe, Independent Non-Executive Director and Chairman Statutory Audit Committee.
Morning, distinguished shareholders.
Morning.
Next is Mrs. Ronke Shokefun, an Independent Non-Executive Director.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman. Good morning, fellow directors. Good morning, esteemed shareholders, and you're welcome to this meeting.
Morning.
Next, we have Mr. Bashir Bello, an Independent Non-Executive Director.
Morning, distinguished shareholders. Good morning, Mr. Chairman.
Morning.
Next is Mr. Kenny Bokwe, an Independent Non-Executive Director.
Good morning, distinguished shareholders. Good morning, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Next is Mr. Cosmas Iweze, who joined the board as an Independent Non-Executive Director in December 2024.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman. Good morning, or good afternoon, or good evening to the distinguished shareholders, depending on where you are in the world. Thank you.
We also have Ms. Ayotola Jagun, who joined the board as an Executive Director, Corporate Services in May 2025. I welcome her to her first AGM as a Director of Oando PLC.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman. Good morning, distinguished directors. Good morning, distinguished shareholders.
Next is Mr. Adiola Ogunsemi, Executive Director and Group Chief Financial Officer.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman. Good morning, fellow directors. Good morning, esteemed shareholders.
Followed by him is Dr. Ainoje Alex Irune, Executive Director and Managing Director of Oando Energy Resources Nigeria Limited.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman. Good morning, esteemed shareholders and fellow directors.
Next is Mr. Omar Mofeboyo, Executive Director and Deputy Group Chief Executive Officer.
Again, good morning, distinguished shareholders. At this meeting today, we have the shareholder members of the Statutory Audit Committee present. They are Mr. David Oluwasegun Oguntoye, Dr. Anthony Omojola, and Mrs. Faith Ekelikose George. We have Mr. Henry Omodibo, Audit Engagement Partner, representing our external auditors, BDO Professional Services. We have Mr. Yaya Lawal, the representative of First Registrars and Investor Services Limited, our registrars. We have with us the representatives of the following regulators: Mr. Graham Omenka of the Securities and Exchange Commission, Mr. Bonaventure Onwuji of the Nigerian Exchange Limited, NGX, and Mr. Adewale Obayemi of the Corporate Affairs Commission. I will now read the notice of the meeting. Notice is hereby given that the 46th Annual General Meeting of Oando PLC will be held virtually via the link provided on Monday, August 11, 2025 at 10 a.m. for the purposes of ordinary business. Number 1, transacting the following ordinary business. 1.1, to lay before the shareholders the audited financial statements of the company and of the group for the year ended December 31st, 2024, and the reports of the directors, auditors, and audit committee thereon. 1.2, to reappoint the firm of BDO Professional Services as the company's auditors in relation to the audit of the financial statements of the company for the year ended December 31st, 2026, and to hold office until the next general meeting of the company, and to authorize the directors of the company to fix their remuneration. 1.3, to consider the re-election of the following directors who are eligible for retirement by rotation and have offered themselves for re-election: Mrs. Nana Fatima Mede, OON, Mrs. Runke Shokefum, and Dr. Aino J. Irune. Biographical details of the directors standing for re-election are available in the 2024 annual report and on the company's website, www.oandoplc.com. 1.5, to elect members of the Statutory Audit Committee. 1.6, to disclose the remuneration of managers of the company. Special business. Number 2, transacting the following special business. Resolution 1, directors' remuneration. 1.1, to approve the remuneration of the non-executive directors of the company. Resolution 2, mandate authorizing transactions with related parties and interested persons. To consider and, if thought fit, pass with or without modifications the following resolutions as ordinary resolutions of the company. 2.1, that pursuant to the rules governing related party transactions of the Nigerian Exchange Limited, a general mandate be and is hereby given authorizing the company to procure goods, services, and financing and enter into such incidental transactions necessary for its day-to-day operations from its related parties or interested persons on normal commercial terms consistent with the company's transfer pricing policy and all relevant transfer pricing regulations in force in Nigeria. 2.2, that all transactions falling under this category which were earlier entered into prior to the date of this meeting are hereby ratified. Resolution 3, capital raise and restructuring initiatives. To consider and, if thought fit, pass the following resolutions as special resolutions of the company. That 3.1, the company be and is hereby authorized to raise additional capital of up to 500 billion naira only, or its foreign currency equivalents in the Nigerian and or international capital markets through the issuance of up to 10 billion ordinary shares of 50 kobo each, either as a standalone issue or by the establishment of capital raising programs, whether by way of public offerings, private placements, debt to equity conversions, rights issues, and or other transaction modes at prices determined through book building or any other acceptable valuation method or combination of methods at such dates and on such terms and conditions as may be determined by the board of directors of the company, subject to obtaining the requisite regulatory approvals. 3.2, the board be and is hereby authorized to enter into capital restructuring agreements with key stakeholders and lenders and convert up to $300 million United States dollars only out of the company's existing reserves-based lending, RBL, debt into equity, subject to terms and conditions to be determined by the directors. 3.3, the board be and is hereby authorized to establish a multi-instrument issuance program in an amount up to $1,500,000,000 United States dollars only, or its Naira equivalent, and to proceed with subsequent issuances of bonds, certificates, instruments, and or other securities under the program at such time and on such terms and conditions to be determined by the directors, subject to obtaining all relevant regulatory approvals, subject to terms and conditions to be determined by the board. 3.4, the company be and is hereby authorized to accept surplus monies arising from any potential oversubscription from the capital raising programs in such proportion as may be determined by the board, subject to obtaining the relevant regulatory approvals. 3.5, the board be and is hereby authorized to enter into any agreements and or execute any documents, appoint such professional parties, perform all such other acts, and do all such other things as may be necessary for or incidental to effecting the above resolutions, subject to obtaining the approvals of relevant regulatory authorities, including without limitation, complying with the directives of any regulatory authorities. Resolution 4, approval of increase in issued share capital and cancellation of unallotted shares. To consider and if thought fit, pass with or without modification the following resolutions as ordinary resolutions of the company. That 4.1, further to the approvals granted in Resolution 3 above, the board be and is hereby authorized to 1, pass the relevant resolutions increasing the company's share capital by the specific number of new ordinary shares required for the respective capital raising programs undertaken by the company, including any oversubscriptions. And 2, allot such said number of new ordinary shares upon completion of the capital raising programs. 4.2, the board, where it deems appropriate, be authorized to take the necessary steps to cancel any unallotted shares of the company created pursuant to Resolution 3.4 above. Resolution 5, approval of amendments of the Memorandum and Articles of Association of the company. To consider and, if approved, to pass with or without modification the following resolution as a special resolution of the company. That upon completion of the capital raising programs and following the increase of the company's share capital and allotment of the new ordinary shares in accordance with the foregoing resolutions, Clause 6 of the Memorandum of Association and Article 3 of the Articles of Association of the company be amended to reflect the company's new issued share capital. Notes: A, virtual meeting link and live streaming of the annual general meeting. Further to the signing into law of the Business Facilitation Miscellaneous Provisions Act 2023, which allows companies to hold meetings electronically, this annual general meeting will be held virtually via the link provided and streamed live. Accreditation of shareholders for the AGM shall begin from August 8, 2025 till the commencement of the meeting. B, voting and proxies. A member of the company entitled to attend and vote at the meeting is entitled to appoint a proxy to attend, speak, and vote in their stead. A proxy need not be a member of the company. In line with the provisions of the rules governing related party transactions of Nigerian Exchange Limited, interested persons have undertaken to ensure that their proxies, representatives, or associates shall abstain from voting on Resolution 2. Registered holders of certificated shares and holders of dematerialized shares in their own name who are unable to attend the meeting virtually and who wish to be represented at the meeting must complete and return the attached form of proxy in accordance with the instructions contained in the form of proxy so as to be received by the share registrars, First Registrars Nigeria Limited, at Plot 2, Abebe Village Road, Igbomu, Lagos, Nigeria, or Computershare Investor Services Limited, Rose Bank Towers, 15 Bearman Avenue, Rose Bank, 2196, Private Bag X9000, Saxon Gold, 2132, or email to proxy@computershare.co.za not less than 48 hours before the time of the meeting. Holders of the company's shares in South Africa, whether certificated or dematerialized, through a nominee should timelessly make the necessary arrangements with that nominee or, if applicable, Central Securities Depository Participant, CSDP, or broker to enable them attend and vote at the meeting, or to enable their votes in respect of their shares to be cast at the meeting by that nominee or proxy. C, no voting by interested persons. In line with the provisions of Rule 20.8C, Rules Governing Related Party Transactions of Nigerian Exchange Limited, interested persons have undertaken to ensure that their proxies, representatives, or associates shall abstain from voting on Special Resolution 2.1 above. D, closure of register of members. The register of members and transfer books of the company, Nigerian and South African, will be closed between July 28, 2025 and July 30, 2025. Both days inclusive, for updating the register in accordance with the provisions of E, nominations for the Audit Committee. In accordance with Section 404 sub 6 of the Companies and Allied Matters Act 2020, any member may nominate a shareholder as a member of the Audit Committee by giving notice in writing of such nomination to the Chief Compliance Officer and Company Secretary at least 21 days before the meeting. The Consolidated Rules of the Securities and Exchange Commission 2013 as amended and the Nigerian Code of Corporate Governance 2018 stipulates that members of the Audit Committee should have basic financial literacy and should be able to understand financial statements. Additionally, at least one committee member should be a financial expert with up-to-date knowledge in accounting and financial management, capable of interpreting financial statements. F, right of shareholders to ask questions. Shareholders have a right to ask questions not only at the meeting, but also in writing prior to the meeting. For the good and orderly conduct of the meeting, shareholders are encouraged to submit their questions in writing ahead of the AGM, and those questions will be acknowledged and answered in full at the AGM. Such questions should be addressed to the Company Secretary and submitted to the registered office or by electronic mail at info@oandoplc.com, not later than 7 days before the meeting. G, electronic annual report. The 2024 annual report is available online for viewing and can be downloaded from the company's website at www.oandoplc.com. The electronic copy of the annual report is sent to our shareholders who have provided their email addresses to the registrars. Shareholders who are interested in receiving the soft copy of the 2024 annual report should request via email to info@oandoplc.com. H, profile of directors. The profile of directors are available on the company's website, www.oandoplc.com. I, unclaimed dividend warrants and share certificates. Shareholders are hereby informed that some dividends have remained unclaimed and returned to the registrar. The list of all unclaimed dividends will be published on our website, and shareholders are advised to contact the registrar, First Registrars and Investor Services Limited, at Plot 2, Abebe Village Road, Igomu, Lagos, Nigeria, dated July 21st, 2025, by order of the board.
Thank you, Mrs. Ibidakube. I believe you have all read the chairman's statement on pages 16 to 19 of the 2024 annual report and will not require that I read it now. However, should you wish that it be read, please signify by raising your electronic hand or by typing in the Q&A box the words, "Please read," and I'll proceed to do so. As we proceed with the meeting, any member who wishes to speak on any of the items on the agenda or to move or second a motion requiring a vote of members should please indicate by using the raise hand feature on the virtual platform when you are called upon. Your microphone will be unmuted. Please state your name before proceeding with your questions or comments. If you encounter any difficulties, please click on the chat box or Q&A box, and our representative will be available to assist you. The first item for consideration at this meeting is the laying of the audited financial statements for the year ended 31st December 2024. At this point, I will call on the representative of the external auditors, Mr. Henry Mbadiwe, to read the auditor's report.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, distinguished shareholders. The independent auditor's report to the members of Oando PLC is on pages 97 to 104 of the annual report and account. In addition to that, is the assurance report of independent auditor on management assessment of controls over financial reporting on pages 105 to 106. Because of the length of this report, Mr. Chairman, sir, I would like to crave the indulgence of distinguished shareholders to go through the salient points by way of summarizing the report. Can I go ahead, sir?
You're muted.
Am I permitted to?
Yes, please go ahead.
In summary, thank you very much, sir. Yeah. Independent auditors report to the members of Oando PLC report on the audit of the consolidated and separate financial statements. Opinion. We have audited the consolidated and separate financial statement of Oando PLC, the company, and its subsidiaries together, the group, which comprise the consolidated and separate statement of financial position as at 31 December 2024, the consolidated and separate statement of profit or loss and other comprehensive income, consolidated and separate statement of changes in equity, and consolidated and separate statement of cash flows for the year then ended, and notes to the consolidated and separate financial statements, including a summary of significant accounting policies. In our opinion, the accompanying consolidated and separate financial statements give a true and fair view of the consolidated and separate financial position of the group and the company as at 31 December 2024, and their consolidated and separate financial performance and consolidated and separate cash flows for the year that ended in accordance with International Financial Reporting Standards, the provision of the Companies and Allied Matters Act 2020, and in compliance with the Financial Reporting Council of Nigeria Amendment Act 2023. Material uncertainty related to going concern. We draw attention to note 49 of the consolidated and separate financial statements, which indicates that the company recorded total comprehensive profits for the year ended 31 December 2024 of 111.8 billion naira. In 2023, total comprehensive loss of 216.2 billion naira. And negative operating cash flows of 7.3 billion naira. In 2023, positive operating cash flow of 1.4 billion naira. As at that date, its current liability exceeded its current assets by 410.5 billion, In 2023, net current liability of 469.2 billion naira and reported net liability of 348.3 billion naira. In 2023, net liability of 460.1 billion naira. The group also recorded total comprehensive loss for the year ended 31 December 2024 of 83.0 billion naira. In 2023, total comprehensive loss of 70.0 billion naira and negative operating cash flows of 521.2 billion naira. In 2023, positive operating cash flows of 148.2 billion naira. Further, as at that date, the group's current liabilities exceeded its current asset by 3.3 trillion naira. In 2023, net current liability of 1.6 trillion naira and reported net liability of 360.9 billion naira. In 2023, net liabilities of 267.2 billion naira. The group and the company continue to incur losses, and the reversal of this trend is dependent on the successful outcomes of its planned action to raise additional equity in order to manage the funding gap of 3.2 trillion naira and 4.3 trillion naira, and the attainment of revenue in the group's forecast for the year ending 31 December 2025 and 31 December 2026, respectively. Also in the notes, management has disclosed that the book values of total current assets of 1.4 trillion naira and non-current assets of 345 billion naira, respectively, have been pledged as collateral securities for its corporate facility, medium-term loans, BBE, and EcoBank facilities. As stated in the note, if the planned actions, including 360 billion equity raise, are successful, it will only address 11.4 and 8.4% of the group's projected funding gap for the year ending 31 December 2025 and 2026, respectively. Management, however, has additional plans to address the 88.6 and 91.6% of the projected working capital deficiency for the 2 years through vendor financing until such a time that profit and healthy cash flows from profitable operations will be achieved. Management is also currently making efforts to sign a binding agreement with each prospective equity provider. The directors, who are also majority shareholders of Oando PLC, had given a letter of guarantee to inject additional capital through rights issue and public offer, in addition to commitment to convene an extraordinary general meeting of the shareholders to address the urgent capital requirements in line with the provision of Section 137 of Companies and Allied Matters Act 2020 and the director's fiduciary responsibilities and commitment to address the financial condition of the company. However, there is a material uncertainty about the success and timing of the additional plans, including the bond and equity raises, given that the projected funding gap continue to worsen over the years. These conditions, together with other matters, indicate the existence of significant accounting uncertainty, material uncertainty, that may cast significant doubt on the growth and the company's ability to continue as a going concern, and therefore may be unable to realize its assets and discharge its liabilities in the ordinary course of business. In addition, exercising the lender's rights in the collateral securities will lead to preparing the consolidated and separate financial statement on a breakup basis and accounting for disposal of subsidiary business and non-current assets under IFRS 5. These consolidated and separate financial statements are yet to include any adjustments relating to the recoverability and classification of recorded asset amounts noted in paragraph 20 of note 49 and or the classification of the remaining non-current liabilities in the statement of financial position that may be necessary if the group is unable to continue as a going concern, as there is no intention by the directors to liquidate or cease the operations of the group, nor is there any formal event of defaults declared by lenders or legislation to cause the same. Our opinion is not modified in respect of these matters. This report also contains 6 major risks identified during the audit and our audit procedure to mitigate them. I now move to conclusion on the audit report on other legal and regulatory requirements. In accordance with the requirement of the 5th schedule of the Companies and Other Matters Act 2020, we confirm that 1, we have obtained all the information and explanations which, to the best of our knowledge and belief, were necessary for the purpose of our audit. 2, in our opinion, proper books of account have been kept by the group and company insofar as it appears from our examination of those books. 3, the consolidated and separate statement of financial position and consolidated and separate statement of profit or loss and other comprehensive income agree with the books of accounts. And in our opinion, the consolidated and separate financial statement have been prepared in accordance with the provisions of the Companies and Other Matters Act 2020 so as to give a true and fair view of the state of affairs and financial performance of the company and its subsidiary. In addition to this report, is the assurance report of independence on management assessment of control over financial reporting. In our opinion, nothing has come to our attention that the internal control procedure over financial reporting put in place by management are not adequate as of the specified date based on the Financial Reporting Council guidance or management report on internal control over financial reporting and the Securities and Exchange Commission guidance on management report on internal control over financial reporting. These reports are signed by me, Henry B. Omodibo, for BDO Professional Services Chartered Accountant and dated 3rd June 2025 in Lagos, Nigeria. Thank you very much, distinguished shareholders, for the opportunity.
Mr. Omodibo, it is time for the Statutory Audit Committee to present the report of the Statutory Audit Committee for the year ended 31st December 2024. The report is on page 95 of the 2024 annual report. I will now call on Mr. Ike Osakwe, the chairman of the Statutory Audit Committee, to read the reports of the committee.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Report to the Audit Committee for the year ended 31st December 2024. We have exercised our statutory functions in compliance with Section 404, subsection 7 of the Companies and Allied Matters Act 2020. And we, the members of the Oando PLC Audit Committee, have, on the documents and information made available to us, A, ascertained whether the accounting and reporting policies of the company are in accordance with legal requirements and agreed ethical practices. B, reviewed the scope and planning of audit requirements. C, reviewed findings on management matters in conjunction with the external auditor and management responses thereon. D, kept under review the effectiveness of the company's system of accounting and internal control. E, made recommendations to the board with regard to the appointment, removal, and remuneration of the external auditors of the company. F, authorized the internal auditor to carry out investigations into any activities of the company which may have been of interest or concern to the committee. We ascertained that the accounting and reporting policies of the company for the year ended 31st December 2024 are in accordance with legal requirements and agreed ethical practices. We also ascertained the review of the audit plan, the effectiveness of internal controls and system of accounting, and made appropriate recommendations to the board as they relate to our functions. Dated this 23rd day of May, 2025, signed by myself, Ike Osakwe. The members of the audit committee during the period are myself, non-executive director, serving as chairman, Mr. Tanimu Yakubu, non-executive director, who resigned on the 23rd of August, 2024, Dr. Joseph O. Ashaolu, shareholder. He resigned on December 17th, 2024. Mr. Shegun Oguntoye, shareholder. Dr. Anthony Omojola, shareholder. Mrs. Faith E. George, shareholder, and appointed on the 17th of December, 2024. Mr. Ken Ibokwe, non-executive director, appointed on 16th of December, 2024. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Osakwe. I hereby formally lay before you the audited financial statements for the year ended December 31st, 2024, together with the report of the directors and the report of the auditors. The report of the directors for the year ended 31st December 2024 can be found on pages 90 to 92, and the report of the auditors on pages 97 to 106 of the annual report for the year. At this point, we will take questions, comments, and views from our members on the reports and accounts and on the operations of the company. Where the question raised is based on the contents of the annual reports, please refer to the relevant page of the report for ease of reference. We will take all questions first and then answer them together. Can we have the company secretary to read the questions in the Q&A, please?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We have a few questions. I'll take the first one from Charles Ngozi Chukwuka Ofune. Is there any provisions made for ordinary shareholders who wish to buy more ordinary shares to increase the number of shares previously held? I'll read the second question and then I guess we can provide the answers at the same time. This is from Eke Chibuzo Emmanuel. Appreciation. I commend and appreciate the board, management, and staff for keeping our company going forward. Page 5 and page 13. Also the landmark achievement in 2024, Oando acquired 100% of ENI's interest in NAOC. This is worth commending. Page 8. The decision to give back to the society is worth commending. Page 56. shows good reporting and transparency in reporting on this document. Page 65, cyber risk. Considering the cybercrime in our society today, there is need to train the staff against cybercrime. And this is noted. Page 88, Group Chief Financial Officer. Revenue from 44% to 4.1 trillion. Revenue from crude oil volume lifted rose by 76%, and revenue from natural gas with volume increasing to 4.7 mm. What is management doing to sustain the growth? Thank you. Those are the questions we have so far.
Very much. So we have Mr. Gilbert Ayola's hand raised. Can you please proceed?
Good morning, Mr. Chairman.
Yes. Can you proceed, Mr. Ayola? Identify yourself properly and then proceed with the question. Okay, can we take Mrs. Bisi Bakari? You can always take Mr.
Thank you,
Ayola.
Mr. Chairman. Good morning, Mr. Chairman. My name is Mrs. Bisi Bakari, the National Coordinator of Pragmatic Shareholders Association of Nigeria. I think Mr. Chairman can hear me, sir.
Can hear you clearly.
Okay, thank you, sir. Before I start my comments, I want to really commend and appreciate the shareholders of Oando PLC for having trust in Oando, for believing in the company. Submitting a over 1,000 proxy is a powerful show of support to Oando. That shows shareholders still have hope in Oando, and I really appreciate all the shareholders for doing that, because I was surprised when registrar announced the number of proxies submitted by Oando shareholders. I was amazed. This is the first time since we commenced the virtual meeting this year, having over 1,000 proxies. This is really commendable. Having said that, I will go to, firstly, I would like to start my comment by commending the appointment of our new chairman, Mr. Ademola Akinrele, SAN, and I pray that he's coming on board. We add more value to the company. In the same vein, I express my appreciation to our former chairman, His Royal Majesty Oba Adedotun Gbadebo, for his leadership quality and service to the company. I wish him a long life and the best in his future endeavors. I will also, that's on page 18 of the soft copy. I will also like to commend the appointment of our former company secretary, Ms. Ayotola Jagun, as an executive director of our company, Oando PLC. I'm not surprised about this. She deserves this for her level of dedication, team spirit, and hard work. I wish her the best in her new role. Again, I want to commend our financial results, which shows a remarkable improvement of 44% in our revenue from 2.9 trillion to 4.1 trillion, while the bottom line closes by 265% from 60.3 billion to 222 billion. This is highly commendable, going by the difficult business environment and unstable oil prices. page 138. I want to commend the renewable energy business, which continues to advance its energy agenda as at the end of 2024. The effective electric mass transit program had covered 121,145 kilometers and transported the 163,546 kilometers of CO2 emission vehicles. This saved over 60,000 liters of gas. My first question is, on our 2025 outlook, how do we hope to sustain this level of profitability, ramp up production towards achieving a target of 100,000 barrels per day, optimize our costs, and ensure value delivery to shareholders? Two, my second question goes like this. In the event of completion of our capital restructuring, when are we likely to commence dividend payment to shareholders who have endured so long with the company? And thirdly, I want to ask that what efforts are we taking as a management and board to reduce the effects of finance costs which occur as a result of high level of borrowings, which rose from 133 billion to 235 billion. In conclusion, to give my colleagues opportunity also, we talk about page 47. Page 47. This is the issue of material uncertainty raised by the external auditors, where the current liabilities exceed current assets. My question is, are we likely to address this post-completion of our capital raising? Once again, Mr. Chairman, thank you very much for recognizing me. Once again, the name is Mrs. Bisi Bakari.
Okay, thank you very much, Mrs. Bakari. Can I suggest to our distinguished shareholders that we should please be as short as possible with the questions. Let's be precise, go straight to the questions. It would allow more people to ask questions and also save us time. So I implore you to please be cooperative. So I think we would try to bring Mr. Gilbert Ayola on again. I hope he can hear us. Mr. Ayola? Is it? Oh, okay. Okay, we can't get Mr. Ayola, so we go for Mr. Nona Awo. Mr. Nona Awo. Can you hear us?
Thank you, Chairman.
Okay.
Other shareholders and other directors. I will first want to plead with the chairman. Yes, it's a virtual meeting, but I have slightly longer than short in what I need to raise. And I say this with all due respect, with a 240 page plus. Anybody who has read this account will certainly have some concerns. And I will hope that you will allow me to run through those concerns so that my understanding of the business I've invested in will also be better understood. Should we give you an approval at this meeting today? This will be the 7th capital raising in 15 years, which means on the average, every 2 years we do capital raise. And interestingly, this itself will be the 5th rights issue. Again, should we give you the approval? And this 5th is also between 2010 and 2025. And that then begins to tell you that there is some concern. But much more of concern is the structure of what you have brought before us today. 500 billion in terms of be it rights issue, be it whatever, 500 billion. And interestingly, we also will be requesting us to do an approval of debt for equity of not less than $300 million. And interestingly, we also will be having to have 1.5 billion, no, 300 million in terms of debt, and then 1.5 billion dollars or pounds in terms of debt capital. Ordinarily, that would not have been a concern, but I'm happy that Henry, representing the auditors, also then raised the other fundamental issue. So the question that one would be willing and hoping to ask, should we have this right issue that would then take, and is successful, that would then take the paid up capital of the company in excess of 22 billion units in shares. Given your plan, because very many of them will not see as outsiders, will we be having a reconstruction on the table shortly after all of this exercise? But much more, I think that will have been necessary in terms of disclosure. Because honestly, from a number of platforms that I am on, and all of them investment, the challenge that Oando has is the trust deficit. And I didn't hear anything in this document that is indicating related party in terms of all this exercise that we have put forward. Part of the debt that we are converting to equity, are they companies that directors are interested in? No disclosure. And I think that this would be very necessary. You also talk about private placement. And one of the things that the auditor's report has also mentioned is that 8 shareholders already have offered to have equity injection via cash. So there's not much more that I think the board will need to tell the shareholders. But if you then take this further, again talking about probably miscommunication, if you look at page 226 and you relate it to page 227, if you look at 226, it said shareholders with over 100 million shares, 3 of them. And interestingly, those 3 hold 73.21%. If you then go to page 227, it said 2 shareholders holds 73.21%. So certainly one of them will not be correct. And for a company that prides itself in good corporate governance, they may look small, but these mistakes are very costly. And I will be hoping that before the end of this meeting, it will be addressed. But if you then take the other component, which is derived from the capital raise option that you have put forward, the auditors have already said that what you'll be addressing will be less than 15% of our capital need. And what one will have expected is that the board will have taken time to detailedly present in this annual account what the capital funding structure going forward will be it a 5-year, be it a 10-year position, because if we don't know, it will be tantamount to asking us to sign blind checks in all of this approval we are asking for. Because if you're in doubt, Mr. Chairman, on page 223, which is also reflected on page 107 and page 158, interest cost in 2 years, 370 billion, not million, billion. Yes, I know that oil business, if well managed and well run, is lucrative, but that itself tells a lot about what Oando currently stands for. And if you then take it further, on page 109, debt, 3 trillion, not million, not billion, trillion. So, and then you then go further. Okay, probably before I go further, So one of the things that one will have expected, like I said, you'll have talked about extensively what the capital, not capital, capital structure of the company going forward is going to look like. So we're all on the same page as to what's, yes, you may have good intentions, but those good intentions will not be known to us if they are kept in the secret bag. So open the secret bag. Let us know what is it that Oando is really out to. Because this, for me, is a major opportunity for Oando to be a born-again company that Nigerians can trust and believe in. Because, like I said, quite a number of persons don't believe in what you currently present. And I think that this will be a turning point. But, Mr. Chairman, I'm not unmindful of the new assets that you acquired. 848 billion. But interestingly, I also find that one of the assets that you went for on page 207 in Trinidad and Tobago is an old refinery that is over 100 years old. And I'm asking myself, I'm not too sure of too many mechanical setup, talk less of a refinery in its complex nature, that will be 100 years old and that will be optimally beneficial to us. So I also want you to talk about, because one thing is to raise money, but much more for me is how the money is also deployed, because you could have all the monies, and then if they are poorly deployed, the chances are high that we'll continue to remain where we are. On a final note, if you look at page 164 and 165, staff number moved from 161 to 998. And I wonder how that happened. But much more difficult to understand is the fact that staff costs now dropped from 26 billion naira to 11 billion. And I'm saying, is there a typo? But certainly something is wrong somewhere. So I'll be hoping that some explanation will be, because ordinarily what will have also provided some explanation. Unfortunately, I'm not sure our auditors also understand this. You then do a range analysis, and that range analysis says ranges for 2024, and the only range that you have in 2024 is an amount in terms of pay that is higher than 20 million. So auditors, some of us don't like talking about audits, but this itself does not show that you took adequate care of some of the challenges that will come from shareholders. And lastly, if you look at this report, you will find so many narrative around foundation. Foundations in the year spent over 353 million. Yes, for the size of business, you may say, oh, that is small money for us. But again, the corporate governance around it is what then becomes my challenge. How much was the income that Oando Foundation obtained in the year under review? Because that is the only way we begin to understand how the money was spent. If you don't have our income, you are talking about spending, it becomes a challenge for me. And lastly, who constitutes the board of the foundation? Who are the trustees of the foundation? And by extension, for the numerous subsidiaries that we have right now.
Thank you very much. I'll be calling on Mr. Dr. Olatunde Okelana to put his question.
Thank you, my chairman, for giving me an opportunity. And I am Ambassador Dr. Olatunde Okelana, the Balogun Olugban of Orile-Igban, Oyo State, Doctoral Fellow of African Institute of Justices of Peace. I'm the chairman of the zonal shareholders for annual general meetings. Remember, it is my duty to mobilize for your support. My chairman, I want to welcome you to this annual general meeting and the AGM as the chairman of Oando, Mr. Akinrele. And I want to use you too to express our appreciation to the former chairman, my father, His Royal Majesty, Obadidapo, the Akalaki of Egbaland, Kirewu Jigi. May he live long to continue to read the fruit of his labor, and may his domain ever know peace. They should know peace till the end of time. My chairman, I want to start because I want to share the sentiment expressed by Mrs. Bakari, and most of the sentiments also expressed by Nona Hawo, and I want to stand on that. I want to greet you for having this meeting on Zoom as accepted or enacted by the law of our land. It's a good one. The only thing we are missing is having a beautiful handshake with you as your maiden AGM as the chairman, and to see my beautiful and handsome man, very hardworking GCEO, Wale Tinubu and Boyo, and most especially Mr. Irune. But I want to say for sure that Oando is looking brighter for the future. Having passed through all the bohaha in the last 3, 4, 5, 6 years, we are out of the wood now. And the idea of the listing is no longer there. I want to commend the board for this. And that we are still part of your investment. I want to tell you, and I want you to be rest assured, we'll give you our support as usual. Because of one thing, I remember vividly in year 2000, when we are doing the merger of a Jeep and Unipetrol in Abuja. Wale will bear me witness what happened to me when the other group believed that you don't have the right to change, to match the two. And they hook me, look at me, they hook me like this at the meeting. And thank God we are still alive today. And we know where we are coming from. And we know where we are. Congratulations to this, my respected chairman. But having said that, my chairman, I've stopped seeing the flow Nagbada on directors. I want to remember you that maybe if you don't like wearing a flowing agbada as a typical Yoruba man, between now and next year, try to make sure you learn how to be wearing agbada. In the next AGM, either physical, hybrid, or Zoom, I want to see you in a flowing agbada. I know you are a son, and it is legal to love a lawyer. That's my submission. Another one, we want to acknowledge and appreciate your share distribution. It's a promise kept by Oando management. And at this juncture, I want to congratulate the board for this, and especially JAT, Jibrin Adewale Tinubu, and Boyo, who are in charge of the executive management of Oando. We believe Oando will continue to grow from strength to strength. And of course, we will approve everything you need, but please don't betray us. We are shareholders, leaders. Many of them are asking us questions. Why do we need to invest again? We said we have to invest again so that we can be able to get better future in this company. And I want to tell you that shareholder will give you that support. And I want to congratulate the former company secretary of the board. He's the secretary to the board, also an employee of Oando PLC. She has done a very good job. And I want to share the sentiment expressed by Mrs. Bakari once again. She deserved that position, and we are happy. But my worry is that, why do you have to pick somebody from outside? That person started work on Friday, according to your release. And 48 hours later, she's the company secretary reading our agenda and everything. Has she done any rehearsal very well? What is the reason behind? We are not against her. That's not the issue. We love your succession plan, both at the board level and at the company secretariat. Since Delano Deji left that office as a female, Tola Jago came in as a female. We don't have any regret. We were so happy about it. Now we have another female. What is the reason for you appointing her on Friday? And by Monday, she's the one taking care of company secretariat of Oando as of today. We need to know that. Then, I want to agree I'm convinced that Oando is one of the best compliance companies this country can be proud of, starting from the time of Deji Delano. I will still repeat that. And that tempo is still being followed. We are happy about that. Continue to improve on your corporate governance. Empower the people in charge. But there's one thing I want to appeal to the chairman. My dear chairman, I hope you are hearing me very well. My chairman, I hope you are hearing me.
Yes, we can hear you. We hope you can round up soon, but we're hearing all your good
I want
points.
to round up. When the auditor was reading, she said he's going to read that bridge, but we eventually spent about 10-15 minutes. So give us time. I've missed having a good handshake with you because it's not a physical meeting. We require a facility tour for handle facilities. We really requested that, please take me serious. We want to know, before you go out for other placements or right issue or public offer, which of course, all of us will take up our right if it's right issue. If it's public offer, we make sure we embrace and ask many people to join the company. But please, we need a facility tour of our investment. It's very, very important. And my dear chairman, I want to also let you know that Ajubri Adewale Tinubu is very dear to us, like I said earlier. And we believe in him at the end of the management that the sky is just the beginning, not just the limit. Oando will go from strength to strength. And we also, like I said earlier, we welcome the new company secretary to the office. I hope she'll be nice, like Tola Jabon, like Deji Delano. They are very accessible. Even when they are too busy, they will return our call. They are accessible. They answer our question on time. And I will believe that by the grace of God, you also your achievement will surpass theirs. That's what everybody pray for. I want to thank you, my respected chairman, for giving me an opportunity. And I look towards to see you again. It's the same person you know very well that always visit you at the Awolowo Road. That's your 188. I wish to see you again. I've misplaced your number. That's why I couldn't call you personally. Please advise Damola to give me your number so I can speak with you after. Thank you very much for giving us the opportunity. Continue the way you are doing, and let the shareholders' confidence in you be improved, and we can be rest assured that the future is very, very brighter. I remain the same, Ambassador Dr. Olatunde Okelano, Balogun Olugban of Orile-Egbon. God bless you, my chairman, for giving me an opportunity.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Okelano. Thank you very much. So we'll have Dr. Farouk Umar put his questions, please. And as brief as you can, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Let me begin first by commending the company for the acquisition of Ajib, which has added a lot of value to our business. We can see the increase in our oil production. It was a very good thought, and we commend the management. Secondly, I would also like to commend the company for the distribution of the shares, even though it was approved since March, but recently the registrars accredited our accounts. But Mr. Chairman, when the registrar is going to distribute the second tranche, we were told by the Nigerian exchange that the qualification date for the second tranche was 30th of June. I think to give people confidence, you need to answer this question and let us know when the registrars will distribute the second tranche. It borders on corporate governance from the registrars, and we would be happy if they would treat this with all urgency. Also, we would like to commend you for the conversion of debt to equity. Mr. Chairman, this should have been done long ago. It would have reduced our debt burden, but it is always better it's better to be late than not to do anything. So we believe this will reduce the pressure on our cash flow, and hopefully it will lead to us getting dividend in the near future. My colleagues have commended you for the appointments of directors. It is a welcome decision, especially the company secretary who have served us diligently for many years. And we believe she will add a lot of value to our business. I would also like to commend the board for recently we have seen a change of attitude from the company where quarterly results are released. We hope and trust that the company would continue to adhere to corporate governance regarding release of quarterly results. Mr. Chairman, the price of oil has dropped today to $66. How is this going to affect our operations? Have we hedged against this? Maybe you need to explain to us the impact of this oil price reduction. Also, Mr. Chairman, we have stayed with this company for many years without dividend. In what way are the existing shareholders going to be rewarded, given the fact that we are getting new investors into the company? On a final note, I would like to really commend the management and say that we believe that the future is bright. With the support we got from Afrexim Bank and with our relationship with NMPCL, we have seen what Oando is doing with the collaboration of other Nigerian companies. We have seen how you have collaborated with Mike Odenuga's business to export crude oil. This is going to really help. But Mr. Chairman, when will Oando be able to compete with the Dangote refinery? Shouldn't we have a refinery in Nigeria? The Trinidad investment, we heard that we were going to manage their refinery. That did not materialize. And the fact that Aliko Dangote is now, his refinery is functional. It has affected our business. So what are we thinking? There was a time the CEO, I think I read in the paper that like Oando would be establishing a refinery in Nigeria. I would like the CEO to talk on this. To us, you may have plans to have refineries outside the country, but we believe that if you can have one in Nigeria, it will really help our business. My name is Dr. Gwani Farouk Umar, President, Association for the Advancement of the Rights of Nigerian Shareholders. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Very much, Dr. Omar. May I encourage the shareholders to also put their questions in the Q&A box so we can have a wider range and a more effective way of answering many of the questions, given the limitations we have of time. I would call on Boniface Okeze to please put his question. Mr. Boniface Okeze.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, good morning. Can I be muted? Mr.
Yes.
Chairman, are you hearing me?
Yeah, very well.
Okay, Mr. Chairman, good morning. Good morning to other directors of our great company, the staff and management, and the fellow distinguished shareholders. My name is Okeze Boniface. I represent the Progressive Shareholders Association of Nigeria, the national chairman. Mr. Chairman, we welcome you on board. You have been a director, but today you're a chairman of this company. We welcome you as a chairman of this great company. With your wide experience in the bench as a senior advocate, I know you are going to take this company to guide the management to the next level. Mr. Karele, you're welcome on board. And I also thank the immediate part chairman, our Oba, who have laid a good foundation. His work will not be in vain. I hope he will consolidate on his past achievement to take this company to the next level. Mr. Chairman, without much wasting our time, I think the issue auditor raised is going to be addressed. I'm not holding brief for the board. It is going to be addressed on the capital raise. The company is making progress. I can see on page 4, key highlight in 2024. Mr. Chairman, this is the company that revenue drive was 2.9 trillion in the previous year. But this year under consideration, 4.1 trillion. That means we are doing very well, Mr. Chairman. We are doing extremely well. In profit after tax of 60 billion last year, 220 billion in this year under consideration. Mr. Chairman, yes, a lot have been done. And this has changed the face of Oando with this sterling performance the management have showcased. And I believe that the era of wandering in wilderness is over, Mr. Chairman, is over. We need to encourage the board, the management to do much more. This is not time of antagonizing or criticize them unconstructively, because this company is one of our own. If we praise the foreigners who have been here in the past, and our own need to be encouraged. Yes, when things go wrong, we can also criticize, but not banishing them in a bad way. Mr. Chairman, I want to commend the company. We are doing very well. The issue of auditors raise is going to be addressed in what we're doing. Because today, if you look at page 234, that is the notice of convening this meeting in absence of declaration of dividend. Mr. Chairman, you can see also on page 216 on borrowing, what we are paying, borrowing, 2.77 trillion, Mr. Chairman, and this had to be addressed on the capital raise. And that's why I led my support to this fourth proposal. You have also highlighted we're going to pass that resolution. We're giving you that go ahead, either the share right issue or public offer. Both combination is a welcome development. Because if we're making such profit, I don't have doubt as to how to repay the loan we're borrowing. And this loan accounted in acquisition of Nigerian Ajib acquisition we made. It's a good one, which have uplifted the growth of this company. Because even if we pass, we made a mistake in the Philip acquisition, but today we are getting it right in the NO acquisition. Mr. Chairman, and I believe this kind of result we're seeing today is a testimony that Oando is going places, that Oando remains one of the best energy company in sub-Saharan Africa. I have no doubt about that. And that also will guarantee us dividend to flow, because we don't want dividend of 5 naira or 2 naira. Oando, even at 18, but earning per share would have given dividend. But since we are now coming back to profit, this is not time to begin to share this dividend. We need to consolidate. We need to build our assets and begin to repay the money so that we don't continue working for the bank, but we need to shift the attention working for the shareholder to be able to produce enhanced dividend that people are proud of. But Mr. Chairman, even that Farouk talked, I agree with him. The dividend have been, the bonus you proposed at last time at AGM, which were given approved, have also been distributed. Some of them have been credited. Today, I can probably told you, I've gotten my own, the brokers that are confirmed is there already in our kit. So whatever thing remaining, I think is also gradually coming in, because I think there was a hitch at the MGS that, delay. Like most, I think 2 companies today, like Jazz, they couldn't be, I think one of the things that are happening, either the system, whatever, any hindrances that have, resulted for people not to having their full share accredited to them. But I think that issue should be addressed by MGS. Mr. Chairman, I want to thank you, thank the MD, the group managing director have done very well. This young man has a vision to transform this company to a world-class company. That what Oibo man is doing, the white man is doing, today we are replicating it in Nigeria. That's African spirit, that's African resilience. So we need to encourage you, the staff, the management, to do more. Mr. Chairman, I agree that on page 224, unclaimed dividend. So, Mr. Chairman, that issue, those are the things within 6 years period. I hope that that amount there standing have not been, returned to SEC whatever. Because today we have been shouting, why must this money? The law said after 12 years, revert back to the company that declares it. The company can make use of it and pay interest to shareholders when they come forth to claim their money. But we are not addressing those issues. Those money have been taken away. But Mr. Chairman, I hope that this one that current should have to be remain in the coffer of the registrar and be monitored by the company secretariat as how the shareholder collect their money. Because if this money allowed to pass to the Abuja, I doubt that money will never come back to the shareholders. That's honest speaking. Because you as senior advocate, I don't know how our law is being amended because the KAMA of 2019 have not been amended. Because what we just did, financial act, and collecting poor people's money to Abuja, that is not healthy. That is not encouraging. Mr. Chairman, it's not truly encouraging. Mr. Chairman, I also want to say on page 223, value added, that's a progressive one. Mr. Chairman, by the time we take care of 235 billion for paying as capital providers, and by this capital raise, that issue of non-dividend availability is going to be addressed. We can now begin to reduce our indebtedness by paying after the capital raise, whether right issue, book bidding, whatever management didn't fit on the board. We're going to wholly support you so that we'll be able to reduce our borrowing. I know those borrowing for acquisition. We have made the mind in the stone, Mr. Chairman, because that loan is not borrowing to probability to do anything extra, but that acquisition is a milestone for the company, growth trajectory. Mr. Chairman, having said all this, it raises hope for dividend payout coming in very soon. Sooner than later, we expected, dividend will flow in a bigger way. Mr. Chairman, on page 5, I want to commend you, the management, for zero routine flaring. Today, the foreign companies have battered our environment by flaring, but Oando have reduced to 92%. That means we're going to have 100% achievement in reduction of flaring, gas flaring, or whatever environment we're operating. So that's a good one, Mr. Chairman. I want to commend you. I want to commend you for the management for doing that. It's excellent for we are reducing flaring that, but that our environment. Oando should set the pace and others will follow. I want to commend the management for doing such, It's a good one that will address the issue of flaring, in our environment where we're operating oil and gas. Mr. Chairman, if you look at pages 6 and 7, all the trajectory, all the trading, crude trading is also doing very well. I want to commend you, Mr. Chairman, on that. I want to commend you for what you have been doing in that excellent way. I still commend Mrs. Ibida Obe, the company secretary. It doesn't matter when it was appointed, but the issues that, it didn't have difficulty. That means it's already in the system. Begin to read the annual report freely, flows, point by point, point by bullet. So I commend her that here she has been braced. She's a thoroughbred and no competence is there. She knows what she's doing. Whether he applied yesterday and begin to read the annual report, that's a confidence I'm showing, no shaking. So I commend, will support her and to do the needful. So the Ms. Ayotola that up today as executive is hardworking. And I believe so, Falashade, by the time you also go through to support this company, you're also going to be rewarded because hard work have been noted by this company to reward hard work. I want to commend, she said today, executive director for company secretary. So that also be your mission, be your aim, that at the end of the day, you'll be rewarded for hard work. So continue that trajectory. Oando have showcased carrying shareholders along. I hope that you enter that shoot. She have left, to communicate with shareholders regularly. When they call you, your phone must be accessible to them because you are bridge between the board and the shareholders. So when we call you, take your call and respond, give us a feedback as how the company is going. Because the GMD also take call most of the time, but he's a busy man. But the company secretary and the investor relations department they are the ones realizing with us, on daily basis. So your own shall not be different. So take the key for Ayotola Jago, the role she has played to serve shareholders well. So I know you are not going to be found wanting. Beautiful for family is a noted family that are in the corporate governance. So I hope the corporate governance that is in strength here will be continue to uplift from day to day and year to year. Mr. Chairman, you have done so well. I know you are coming on board as a chairman today because you have been a director. As a chairman, I know come next year, we are going to have something to celebrate. We are still having strong balance sheet and assets. That's the basic of a company. And when those are not lacking, there's no company. Mr. Chairman, and that also putting hope on any investor in Oando that you are not going to invest in vain because the results are there. The foundation is solid, strong, like a rod of the glibeter. We believe and strongly in the next 2 years, dividend will come in a bigger way. And all of us will enjoy the campaign. Mr. Chairman, people are itching to have right issue open or public offer. They will subscribe and we'll get the money and reduce our indebted.
Thank you, Mr. Okeze. Thank you very much. We will take Mr. Gilbert Ayola.
Thank you, my chairman, sir. Thank you, my chairman. Please, can you unmute me? Can you unmute me, please, Mr. Chairman? Can you be unmuted? Hello, sir. My chairman, sir.
We can hear you very clearly.
Good morning, my chairman, sir. I want to thank you for giving me the opportunity, and I want to rest on all existing protocols and those who have spoken earlier. I want to appreciate our company for the wonderful job they've done.
It's only men they will call you.
Hello, my chairman. Hello, my chairman. Yeah, please, I want to thank our company board of directors for the wonderful work they've been doing. And we'll continue to support you in every way to ensure that the trajectory growth we are expecting from our company continue to get improved. My charge, resting on all others, what others have said, is going to be on a 5-point agenda to our directors and board. And I want to itemize them one by one, if allowed, and I will start like this, sir. My number one is this. Let our companies place priority in the parent group to restore the financial health with a focus on improving revenue, profitability, and balance sheet strength. Number two, sir, is to enhance the cash flow and liquidity in reducing operational cash flow strain through better working capital and debt management practice. Number three, close the equity gap in addressing negative equity with long-term financial restructuring, strategy assets and optimization, and potential recapitalization where necessary. Fourth, sir, develop and communicate a dividend roadmap to shareholders that is expected and to align with a clear plan on how and when dividend payment will resume. Number five, sir, maintain strategic focus on renewable that continue to build momentum to clean energy, leveraging current partnership and alliance with global EGC potential. So on this note, sir, I want to submit my submission and also thank you for giving me the opportunity, sir. Thank you.
Mr.
Chairman, sir, I'm through.
Can we have Mr. Jidwa to pose a question? Mr. Jidwa?
Yes. Mr. Chairman. Mr. Simbola. Mr. Chairman.
Simbola. Yes. Is that Simbola?
This is Barrister Detutu.
Barrister
Okay.
Yes, please proceed.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, other board members, the regulatory authorities, my fellow distinguished shareholders, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Barrister Detu Tushinyobola. I'm the president of Highly Favored Shareholders Association. Mr. Chairman, I have some observations, comments, questions, and suggestions on Oando PLC's 2024 annual report. With your kind permission, I will quickly run through them. On page 4, financial performance. Going through the indices therein, I observed an impressive performance in the year under review. I want to seize this opportunity to give kudos to the board and the management team for a job well done and implore them to do more. On page 19, awards and recognition in chairman's statements. I observe we have prestigious awards to our credit in the year under review. This is commendable. Please keep it up. From page 42 to 47, the beautiful faces and the profile of the board of directors. Observe that we have only 3 ladies in the board of 14 directors, which amount to 21%. This is unacceptable on gender balancing. We have to improve on it going forward. On the profile of our directors, I observe some changes on our board in the year under review, and they are as follows. Our erstwhile chairman, His Royal Majesty Oba Michael Adedotun Mbadiwe CFR, resigned on the 16th of December 2024 after serving us meritoriously for 18 years. And Mr. Tanimu Yakubu, one of our independent non-executive directors, also resigned on the 23rd of August 2024 after serving us meritoriously for 9 years. I want to seize this opportunity to thank them both and wish them the very best in their present and future endeavors. To fill the vacuum created by their exits, the board appointed my learned silk, Mr. Demola Akinrele, SAN, as the new chairman on the 17th of December 2024. Mr. Cosmas Iwese as independent non-executive director on the 16th of December 2024, and our own Ms. Ayotola Jagun as executive director corporate services on the 20th of May 2025. I want to seize this opportunity to congratulate you all and wish you a fruitful tenure in office. On page 52, attendance at board meetings and board committee meetings is good, but can be excellent. We have to improve on our attendance going forward. On page 90, item 4, directors' interest in shares. I observe that 9 directors out of 13 listed have our shares attached to their names directly or indirectly in the year under review. This is commendable. Please keep it up. On page 91, item 9, donation stroke charitable gifts. Observe that our CSR in the year under review centered on education, youth empowerment, and community development. Next time, we should extend it to health and social welfare by reaching out to orphanages, old people's homes, and so on and so forth. On page 109 rather, consolidated statement of financial position. Permit me to limit myself to group. My trade, order receivables, and contract assets under current assets went up from 710.4 billion naira to 750.3 billion naira in the year under review. Mr. Chairman, what are the modalities in place to collect this debt from our customers to the barest minimum so that it will not end up as bad debt that will be written off? Thanks and God bless you for this opportunity, Mr. Chairman. I appreciate my learned silk.
Thank you very much.
It's my pleasure.
So we're going to have one more person, Mr. Ajidua, the last question. And may I suggest that be very precise, avoid the commentaries and just go to the points so that we can be very effective.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman.
Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes, I want to rest on the existing protocol and to appreciate you coming on board, as well as the upliftment of our former company secretary, as well as also the upliftment of Mrs. Damola Dawood being promoted to a general manager. We pray that all these people coming on board will add value and will add more to the company in terms of their working experience. I want to commend the fact that under the management leadership of Mr. Adewale Tinubu and Mr. Mofe Boyo, They have strategically turned around the fortunes of the company positively, despite difficult macroeconomic challenges and regulatory challenges. This was made possible by the level of profitability that the company has experienced in the last 3 years and the acquisition of NAOC, which is a testament to their business versatility, professional competence, strategic vision, dexterity, resilience, and good leadership quality. The result of this exceptional growth has led to more investor appetite for the company's share, which makes the market price of Oando to rise from 17.45 naira to a 52 weeks high of 98 naira. My question is, how do we hope to meet up our production target of 100,000 barrels per day that we experience? Since we experience a marginal decline in our production, in our gas, and also in the NGL production. Number two, the issue of pipeline vandalization and sabotage remains a major concern to the industry stakeholders. What support have we received from government agencies in addressing this, as well as the collaborative effort from the industry player and the host community? On resolution 3.1 on capital raise and restructuring, I want to commend the initiative to raise 500 billion through issuance of 10 billion ordinary share. I want to urge my fellow shareholders to overwhelmingly support and then buy up their share once it's out. This motion is aimed at strengthening our capital adequacy, ensure financial stability, address the negative retained earnings, and support our long-term value creation. Please, the board and management must look at the timing of this offer, the appropriate offer price, and also the need to commence dividend post capital raising. In conclusion, Mr. Chairman, I want to assure you of our maximum support for you as shareholder and to thank our new company secretary, Mrs. Folashade Ibidakobe, and urge her to emulate our predecessor. And by so doing, we are going to also offer her more support from our end. I want to reiterate our continued support for Oando's management, ably led by Mr. Adewale Tinubu, and urge them to remain resilient and strong. Oando will continue to be strong and great in Nigeria. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ajidwa. So the GC would be responding to the questions, and also note he's also taking into account the questions posed in the Q&A. So he'll be taking it with the live questions comprehensively. Thank you very much. So over to you, the GC.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Distinguished shareholders, thank you for your questions and your comments. I'll start with the question posed by Mr. Charles, who was the first speaker, and he referred to whether or not there will be opportunities for existing shareholders to purchase new shares in the company. That is definitely taken care of in the resolution, because we do envisage that part and parcel of the mode of capital raising would include a rights issue, which would enable shareholders purchase shares in direct proportion to their ownership. I think we have quite a range of flexibility envisaged, private placements, rights, and a public offer as contemplated in the resolution. Mr. Chibuzo, thanks for your comments and the encouragement to the company. And your fundamental question was, what is management doing to sustain growth? I think the advantage we have today is that the single most important thing for us is the fact that we are now in direct control of our destiny. The management now has operatorship, or the company now has operatorship. And by operatorship, it means that an asset which we've been invested in since 2010, since 2014, where we invested $1.8 billion in total, and we were a joint venture partner in which we had misaligned objectives with the operator, who were Eni, the Italians. They were more focused on gas in terms of long-term gas production. They were more focused on heavy OPEX costs in terms of running the joint venture. And we now, having control of the operatorship, are able to put our footprint amongst the things which we need. One, where we are now able to plan the short, long, and medium-term destiny for the assets, for the group of assets. And the first step which we're working on is to reduce our costs substantially. We're a better operator when it comes to costs, being a local indigenous company that had actually been built from scratch. So we do know how to manage costs, and we're having significant successes in managing costs. Second thing we're focusing on is security. We are locals and accordingly better able to identify security threats and move our approach from one of being proactive rather than being reactive in terms of dealing with the security issues. Security downtime is security incursions on our assets, particularly our pipelines, accounts to over 75% impact in terms of reduction in production. We're also focused as a company in terms of short cycle, high return investments. So capital investments has also been a challenge for us as an indigenous company vis-a-vis the actions of a long-term planning in conjunction with the former partners regarding how capital should be deployed, because we are seeking to utilize the capital available in the most efficient manner, wherein we are able to maintain key assets to increase production, have a very tight drilling campaign, and have a short cycle in terms of our investments to return. In terms of sustaining growth, we are positive and confident, and you would have seen that if you look at the reports, I think in the chairman's reports, and I can refer you to page, the business review. If you look at page 21, in terms of operations, you see the chairman's report in terms of performance of the asset. And if you look at the CEO's report, page 23, where I make reference to the impact which we've had as a company in terms of year one of operatorship. I look to peak production consistently because peak production gives us an indication as to what we should do unrestricted. And that's because the Niger Delta often has third-party impact in terms of your operations, and you would need to maintain higher levels of production to maintain an average, because lines get affected by third-party factors, usually security incursions. But at least the good news is that as a company, we celebrated the first time in the history of the company, I think in the last 10 years, where we had zero pipeline incursion. In the last 30 days, we had all green, all our lines were green, not one drop of oil was tampered with. And we had peak oil production net to us of 38,000 barrels last year, which meant the joint venture produced somewhere close to 100,000 barrels of oil equivalent per day. Our 5-year plan is to get to 100,000 barrels a day of oil and to get to 1 billion cubic feet of gas. And we are on course to doing it. The first rig has arrived, and we should spud our first well within the next 2 weeks. We expect another land rig by the end of this year, and we'll be expecting to put online 3 more rigs in 2026. The next question had to do with the question of dividend commencing dividend repayments, and the company is on course to do that. We'll expect to do that by next year. In fact, we have done something akin to a dividend payment by the distribution of shares today. In this instance, there was zero dilution by the distribution of shares that was given to shareholders. And effectively, at today's market price, the board has approved the equivalent of 80 billion naira, 70 to 80 billion naira worth of shares have been given to shareholders. And that represents a gross 10% yield on the market capitalization of the company. If you consider that I think the shareholder Nuna made some comments regarding having had 7 approvals. I think it's important to note that the company has not raised equity 7 or 8 times. As mentioned, the company raised equity in 2010, $160 million was raised, okay? And then it raised for the ConocoPhillips acquisition, it raised $790 million in 2013 and 2015. Now, it's important to note that the total amount of equity that existed on the balance sheet of the company prior to this fundraising was $140 million. And if you do add that sum together, you would see that we had circa $810 million of equity raised. And then if you add the last 140, $930 million in total of equity raised. Since that time, we had a shareholder settlement wherein $550 million plus $85 million was handed back to shareholders, thus leaving us with a net of approximately $350 million. So the reality is that the company has done very well in terms of being able to utilize debt as a means of growing its balance sheets. And the impairments that we've suffered were primarily as a result of paying back shareholders their capital in form of the settlement, and which threw us into negative shareholders' funds, which we suffered today. Accordingly, we are able now to raise capital, and we're not raising capital at 5 naira a share, which we would have done assuming we had done it last year. We're raising capital today at over 50 naira a share, which is a 10 times increase in the overall capitalization of the company, as well as effectively 10 times increase in the value of the shareholding which individual shareholders hold in the company, thus reducing the dilutive effect. I think he also mentioned the issue of a trust deficit, and I must assure him that that shouldn't be the case. Every single thing we do is publicly disclosed, and I think he does need to spend a bit more time to go through the audited accounts, to go through the website, to go through all the public material, because a lot of the questions he asked are there. One, in terms of who and what is being converted, it is quite specific that it's the reserve-based lending that a portion therein is contemplated to be converted into equity. Reserve-based lending has been provided to the bank by the African Export-Import Bank. In terms of OL, our old facility, we drew down $550 million in 2019, having paid off the original $500 million drawn in 2014 for the ConocoPhillips acquisition. We did that in record time. In 5 years, it was paid off. And then we drew down $550 million in 2019 to settle the shareholder dispute and exit the investor, Gabriel Volpe and Associates, from the company, which saw 34% of the company's shares being redeemed. Said 34% is what we have, and which has been the subject of the board's decision to hand those shares or a portion thereof to the shareholders, which has seen the first distribution of 80 billion naira worth of shares being, at today's market cap, being handed back to shareholders. The only thing that is being converted is a reserve-based lending, of which we have $500 million in OPNG, which is the entity that was utilized for the acquisition of NAOC, and we have $375 million in OOL, which was the entity that was utilized in raising capital for the acquisition of NAOC as well too in recent times, having paid off all the liabilities due to the bank from the original ConocoPhillips acquisition. In other words, the company has taken on debt in a disciplined fashion and has consistently paid down its debt, and in the process created equity value in the company, hence the 700 or 800 billion worth of market capitalization which the company has today, which is 2 to 3 times in excess of the original shareholders' funds that was utilized in building the business. The point was mentioned regarding the possibilities of data being wrong regarding the shareholders. That's wrong. I mean, the business today has Ocean and Oil Development Partners as a significant shareholder and Leaf Investments as a significant shareholder. Both shareholdings are specified. The ultimate beneficial ownership is specified. And the records speak for themselves. The second point that was mentioned had to do with the refinery acquisition in Trinidad and as being an old refinery. Indeed, yes, it was launched as an old refinery, but refineries usually maintain the sites. In the Western world, refineries are usually well in excess of 100 years because they go through several revamps, refurbishments, and reconstructions over the period of time, but their location is not moved for obvious reasons because of development, the fact that utilities are already there, pipeline systems have been established, right-of-ways have been enshrined, and accordingly, they don't change location. We see the opportunity of investing in the Caribbean in partnership with the move that African Export-Import Bank has made in terms of extending the mandate of the bank to include the CARICOM states. Accordingly, it allows companies like Oando PLC, who are active beneficiaries of loans and advances from the bank, to expand their corporate footprint into the Caribbean. And there are certain key areas in the Caribbean which have oil and gas assets, which are primarily Trinidad, Guyana, and Suriname, which we are actively pursuing opportunities there. These opportunities will see us do 2 things which we do well, which is 1, explore and produce, and 2, trade, which means we will be able to export from those locations crude oil and gas, as well as import refined petroleum products into those locations. Several comments were made regarding the recommendations as to what we should be doing, which is ensure that our balance sheet stays strong, liquidity, manage our liquidity better, to close the equity gap, renew dividend payments, and to focus on clean energy. And we couldn't accept or agree less. These are the priorities of the company. In terms of the balance sheet strengthening, we are doing several things. 1, ensuring that all our loans are restructured as current, as long-term as opposed to current. So we've done that by resolving the dispute which we had with NAOC regarding the old AGIP regarding high costs, which we've ended up in arbitration regarding the high cost profile of the joint venture. All of that's been resolved, and the liabilities have been reclassified and restructured and dispensed with. We are also dealing with other initiatives. For example, we are planning to raise equity, as has been discussed already, and that equity will displace some of the debts which we're carrying to ensure that we have the right debt to equity mix, and also to fundamentally, once and for all, eliminate the emphasis of matter that has been raised by auditors over the last years. The company took a gamble, and the gamble was to grow by debt. Okay, consolidate its acquisition, I think, which it has done, and then in the process, raise appropriate equity to balance out the risk profile. These things would never have been able to be achieved without the borrowing which the company has done. We have borrowed in a very, I would say, disciplined manner. In 2014, our debt load was $2.5 billion. By 2018, that debt load had dropped to $579 million. And what we did was, having acquired ConocoPhillips, we sold our gas business, we sold our downstream retail business, which was the right strategy. As we saw the emergence of other competitors in the market, we also wisely predicted the exchange rate devaluation, which we've suffered. And we've seen the exchange rate go from 160 when we divested to 1,500 today, almost 10 times or reduction in the exchange rate. And we focused our energies on US dollar earnings, US dollar expansion. We only increased our debt from 2019 up to $2 billion US dollars as we currently have by acquisitions. And these were calculated intentionally by the company to double its reserve base and ensure that it had more than enough oil to produce for the next 50 years, thus guaranteeing our future. And in so doing, we have secured 12 flow stations. We've secured over 200 wells in production. We've secured our own export terminal, the Brass Terminal. We've secured close to 1,000 megawatts of power. An extremely reliant, integrated, and substantial joint venture has been acquired by the company, and which guarantees our future positioning. We are positive about our ability to raise the additional capital. Our medium-term loan and corporate facility will be long-term loans and no longer be current, thus improving our working capital position. So we expect positive working capital by the end of this year, and we will conclude our increase in capital, in equity, to ensure that we have the right mix of capital. Clearly, your returns cannot be maximized without debt, but we do need to switch from paying interest to banks to start paying in dividends to shareholders, effectively swapping bank debt for equity, which we intend to do over the next few months. We have a very aggressive program to do this, and we have asked shareholders for approval to convert up to $300 million of our current $875 million of reserve-based lending into equity. We are confident of being able to do that. We do have a baked into our loan a conversion option or conversion pricing already identified with the lenders, where they can come in as equity partners into the company at the subsidiary level. We are also seeking to raise from the markets up to 500 billion naira, and 500 billion translates to about $300 million US, which, if you look at the amount of capital that has been deployed in acquisitions and the amount of capital required to drill the wells, sustain production, and maintain the business. And the business currently spends approximately $600 to $700 million per annum on working capital and capital investments. And so being able to achieve this comes from the strong cash flows that occur as a result of the liftings it has been doing. And it then utilizes a good percentage for day-to-day operations. Having this equity capital in would reduce our debts, improve our gearing, and allow us to commence immediately the payment of dividends to shareholders. We also seek, in the process, a bond issuance program, and the essence of the bond issuance program is to be able to extend the repayment period of liabilities from the current 5 to 7 years that we have on our reserve-based lending, and also to denominate those liabilities as well to potentially into Naira, where we have the benefit since we're a dollar-earning company. Over 95% of the company's earnings are in US dollars. And so we have the luck, I would say, or the strategic positioning of being a corporate that is based in Nigeria, operates in Nigeria, yet earns dollars for most of its operations. And you see the consistent devaluation, which we will continue to have as a result of the difference in inflation between the United States and Nigeria. We would always have a strong hedge against future devaluation. So dear shareholders, the company is in safe hands. We have taken certain risks in the past. Challenges are behind us. I think we did have some headwinds in the past, which have been taken care of, and we are in a position, having dealt with the SEC shareholder issues. We dealt with COVID, where we had 2 years of not being able to invest substantially. We've dealt with the persistent vandalism and production disruption, as I said earlier. We've dealt with the misalignment with our prior partner, now being the operator. And so we are in charge of our own destiny now. We have responsibility, we have authority, and we have accountability. And the management is comfortable and confident of being able to execute on all these initiatives. With your permission, Mr. Chairman, I would pass the floor over to you.
Thank you very much, GC. We shall proceed. I should mention that a resolution is not required to be passed on the accounts. Therefore, the audited financial statements of the company for the year ended 31st December 2024, along with the report of the directors, auditors, and audit committee as presented to you, are considered received. I must sincerely thank our shareholders for those insightful comments, the views and questions which have been very well received and noted. Before I proceed to the resolutions to be passed, please note that in accordance with Section 248 of the Companies and Allied Matters Act 2020, I hereby declare that voting at this meeting shall be by poll, except item 1.5 on the agenda, which is the resolution for the election of members of the Statutory Audit Committee. The votes on all the proxy forms duly submitted have been collated by the registrars. The registrars will share the voting results on each of the resolutions being proposed. May I invite the representative of First Registrars to explain the e-voting protocol and the polling process.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Good morning once again, the distinguished Board of Directors and esteemed shareholders. For the purpose of voting on each of the resolutions that will be presented today, is going to be with the use of e-voting using the USSD and the web version for those in diaspora. I'm going to talk about the procedure for the USSD first. For USSD, as shareholders, please dial *7006 *61# on your mobile phone. I repeat, please dial *7006 *61# on your mobile phone. Thereafter, you enter 1 to verify your phone number. After the verification of your phone number, you now enter 1 again in order to select your total unit you are having in Oando PLC. Then the next step is for you to press 1 again if you are voting for any resolution. If you want to vote against, please press 2. Let me repeat that one too. If you want to vote for any resolution, please press 1. If you want to vote against, please press 2 and enter. Thank you. That is for the USSD version. For web version, for those in diaspora, please you use the QR code or bit link to vote using the web. It is advisable to log in before voting commences. After the login, then you can log in with your email address or enter the OTP sent to your mobile number or email. After doing that, you wait for the poll on the resolution to be open and select your voting unit. Then you select for or against before you submit. Then please know that for each resolution, we only have 120 seconds for you to vote on each of the resolution. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Lawal. Item 1.2 is to reappoint the firm of BDO Professional Services as the company's auditors in relation to the audit of the financial statements of the company for the year ended December 31st, 2026. To hold office until the next general meeting of the company and to authorize the directors of the company to fix their remuneration. Hence, I move that Messrs. BDO Professional Services be reappointed as the auditors for the year ended December 31st, 2026, and the directors be and are hereby authorized to fix the auditor's remuneration. Will someone please second the motion?
I so second, Mr. Chairman. Adio Alex is the name.
Okay. Thank you.
I don't.
You heard them. I will now call.
Adio Alex. I so second. Thank you, Mr.
Yes, we've got you. Thank you. I will now call on the representative of First Registrars to conduct the poll.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Like I earlier mentioned, if you are voting with the usage of USSD, please dial *7006 *61# on your mobile phone. Then enter 1 for you to verify your phone number. After the verification, please enter 1 again in order to ensure that you are using your entire unit to vote on this resolution. If you are voting for that resolution, please press 1. If you want to vote against, please press 2 and submit. That is for USSD. For the web version, for those in diaspora, please use the QR code or bit link to vote using the web. It is advisable, like I earlier mentioned before, to log in before voting commences, because any moment from now, the voting will commence. Then you log in with your email addresses, enter the OTP sent to your mobile number or email. Then you wait for the poll on the resolution to be open and select your voting units. You want to select, you either select for or against. Please open the poll for the shareholders to commence voting. The poll is open for that resolution. We have 116 seconds left. (109 seconds left. Voting is still ongoing. We have 99 seconds left. Still counting. (81 seconds left. The poll is still open. 65 seconds left. Forty seconds left. Thirty-6 seconds left. Twenty seconds left. Still counting. Seven seconds left. 6 seconds left. 8 seconds left. Poll closed. At the end of the voting on this resolution, we have 1,218 shareholders voting through proxies, through the usage of USSD and web, and voting for with the total shares of 8,806,834,844 units. While we have 22,271 units. Just 271 units that voted against that resolution. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Following the announcement of the results by the registrar, I hereby declare the motion carried. Item 1.3 is to re-elect the following directors who, in accordance with Articles 91 and 93 of the company's Articles of Association, retire by rotation but are eligible and offer themselves for re-election as directors. Mrs. Nana Fatima Mede, OON, Mrs. Ronke Shokefun, and Dr. Ainoje Irune. The profiles of the directors who are seeking re-election are available on the website and on pages 43 to 47 of the 2024 annual report. I hereby move that Mrs. Nana Fatima Mede, OON, be and is hereby re-elected as a director of the company. Will a shareholder please second the motion? That Kabiru Abdullahi Tambari.
Are you hearing me, Mr. Chairman?
Yes, we can hear you.
My name is Kabiru Abdullahi Tambari, shareholder from Sokoto Zone Shareholders Association. I hereby second the motion, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
I will now call on the representatives of first registrars to conduct the poll.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. For the purpose of voting on this resolution, like I mentioned, if you are using the USSD, please dial *7006*61# on your mobile phone, then enter 1 to verify the phone number. Thereafter, enter 1 again in order to use the entire unit. Then press 1 if you are voting for that resolution, while you press 2 if you want to vote against. For those that are using the web version in diaspora, I'm sure you have already logged in. So what you need to do is just to wait for the poll on the resolution to be open and select your voting unit. You either select for or against. Please open the poll. The poll is open just for 120 seconds, like I mentioned before. Voting has commenced. (106 seconds left). 100 seconds left. 98 seconds left. Still counting. "73 seconds left. The poll is still open. "49 seconds left. "40 seconds left. "19 seconds left. "2 seconds left. Poll closed. At the end of the voting on that resolution, we have 1,220 shareholders voting through proxy, through USSD, and web version, with the total shares of 8,773,664,157 shares voting for that resolution. While we have 5 shareholders that voted against that resolution, with the total shares of 34,242,959 units. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
I declare that Mrs. Nana Fatima Mede OON is hereby re-elected as a director of the company. I hereby move that Mrs. Ronke Shokefun be and is hereby re-elected as a director of the company. Will a shareholder please second the motion?
I so do, Mr. Chairman. My name is Mrs. Bakari Adebisi. I second the motion, sir.
I will now call on the representative of First Registrars to conduct the poll.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Want to vote for this resolution with the use of USSD, please dial *7006*61# on your mobile phone, and thereafter you enter 1 in order to verify your phone number. After doing that, you enter 1 in order to select your entire unit of shares that you have in Oando PLC. Then you press 1 again if you want to vote for that resolution, while you press 2 if you want to vote against the resolution. For those that are using the web version in diaspora, just wait for the poll on the resolution to be open, since you have already logged in, and select your voting unit. Either you select for or against. Please open the poll. The poll is open and we have 120 seconds to vote on that resolution. Voting has commenced. We have 100 seconds left. $89 seconds left, 87 seconds. $68 seconds left. $50 seconds left. 49 seconds left. The poll is still open. We are still counting. Thirty seconds left. Nineteen seconds left. Thirty seconds left. Two seconds left. Poll closed. At the end of the voting on that resolution, we have 1,218 shareholders that voted for that resolution, either through proxy, USSD, or web version, with the total shares of 8,772,504,996 shares. While we have 4 shareholders that voted against that resolution, with the total shares of 34,241,208 units. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much. I declare that Mrs. Ronke Shokefun is hereby re-elected as a director of the company. I hereby move that Dr. Ainoje Irune be and is hereby re-elected as the director of the company. Will a shareholder please second the motion?
Mr. Chair.
Okay. Yes, go on. Patrick Ajudua.
My name is Patrick Ajudua.
Yes. Second the motion. Please proceed to second the motion. Mr. Ajudua, can you hear us?
Let's get some teams.
I second the motion. My name is Patrick Ajudua.
Okay, thank you very much. I will now call on the representative of First Registrars to conduct the poll.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. For the purpose of voting on that resolution with the use of USSD, please dial *7006*61# on your mobile phone. Then you enter 1 in order to verify your phone number. After the verification, please enter 1 again in order to select your entire unit of shares in Oando PLC. Then you now press 1 if you want to vote for that resolution, or you press 2 if you want to vote against that resolution. For the web version, you had earlier logged in. All you need to do is just to wait for the resolution to be open, then select your voting unit, and thereafter select for or against. Please open the poll. The poll is for 120 seconds. Please open the poll. The poll has opened. We have 104 seconds left. $87 seconds left. 86 seconds left. The poll is still open. $66 seconds left. $50 seconds left. 31 seconds left. Eleven seconds left. 6 seconds left. 8 seconds left. Poll closed. At the end of the voting on that resolution, we have 1,222 shareholders that voted through proxy, through USSD, and web version, with the total shares of 8,773,414,445 units voted for that resolution, while we have 4 shareholders that voted against the resolution, with the total shares of 34,240,109 units. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. So I declare that Dr. Aino J. Irune is hereby re-elected as a director of the company. Item 1.4 on the agenda is to elect Mr. Cosmas Iweze and Ms. Ayotola Jagun to the board of directors of the company with effect from December 16, 2024 and May 20, 2025, respectively, as directors whose term expires in accordance with Article 88 of the Articles of Association of the company, but being eligible offer themselves for election. The profiles of the directors who are seeking election are available on the website and on pages 43 to 47 of the 2024 annual accounts. I hereby move that Mr. Cosmas Iweze be and is hereby elected as a director of the company. Will a shareholder please second the motion? Oludewa Thorpe.
I so do, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. Thank you. I will now call on the representatives of first registrars to conduct the poll.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. For the purpose of voting on that resolution with the use of USSD, please dial *7006 *61# on your mobile phone. Thereafter, you enter 1 in order to verify your telephone number. Thereafter, you enter 1 in order to vote using the entire unit you are having in Oando PLC. Then you now press 1 if you want to vote for that resolution, while you press 2 if you want to vote against the resolution. For the web version, like I mentioned before, you had earlier logged in. What you need to do is just to wait for the poll to be open and select your unit. Either select for or against. The poll is for 120 seconds, like I earlier mentioned. Please open the poll. The poll is opened. Voting is about to commence. Voting has commenced. $82 seconds left. 79 seconds left. $69 seconds left. Still counting. $53 seconds left. 51 seconds left. 49 seconds left. The poll is still open. 25 seconds left. 22 seconds left. 18 seconds left. 12 seconds left. 8 seconds left. Poll closed. At the end of the voting on that resolution, we have 1,229 shareholders that have voted through proxies, through USSD and web version, and voted for that resolution with the total shares of 8,807,218,018 units. No dissenting votes. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much. I declare that Mr. Cosmas Iweze is hereby elected as the director of the company. I hereby move that Ms. Sayotola Jagun be and is hereby elected as the director of the company. Will a shareholder please second the motion? Ridwan Hamza.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman, for the opportunity. I hereby second the motion. My name is Prince Ridwan Hamza, all the way from Gusau. Thank you.
Thank you. I will now call on the representative of First Registrars to conduct the poll.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. For the purpose of voting on that resolution, please dial *7006*61# on your mobile phone. You are using the USSD fashion, while you enter 1 in order to verify your telephone number. Thereafter, you enter 1 in order to vote with your entire unit you are having in Oando PLC. Then you press 1 if you want to vote for that resolution, while you press 2 if you want to vote against that resolution. For the web version, for those in diaspora, you had earlier logged in, so all you need to do is just to wait until the poll is open, then thereafter select your voting unit and now select 4 if you want to vote for that resolution, while you select against, you want to vote against that resolution. The time for the voting is 120 seconds and the poll will be open. Now, please open the poll. Voting has commenced. We have 103 seconds left. $88 seconds left. 84 seconds left. 80 seconds left. 78 seconds left. Still counting. 69 seconds left. 60 seconds left. 51 seconds left. 42 seconds left. 29 seconds left. 18 seconds left. 5 seconds left. 8 seconds left. Poll closed. At the end of the voting on that resolution, we have 1,222 shareholders that have voted through proxy, through USSD and web version, and voted for that resolution with the total shares of 8,773,718,018 727,708 shares. While we have 3 shareholders that have voted against that resolution with the total shares of 34,240,108 shares. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much. I declare that Ms. Ayotola Jagun is hereby elected as a director of the company. The last item under ordinary business is to elect members of the Audit Committee in accordance with Section 404, subsection 3 of the Company and Allied Matters Act. The following names were sent by the directors and shareholders, having given the required notice of 21 days in compliance with Section 404, subsection 6 of the Companies and Allied Matters Act of 2020. Any nomination not received prior to the meeting as stipulated is invalid. Nominees of the directors to the Statutory Audit Committee are 1, Mr. Ike Osakwe, and 2, Mr. Ken Igbokwe. The Company Secretary will now give details of the shareholder nominees for the Statutory Audit Committee.
We received 102 nominations for election to the Statutory Audit Committee. 98 nominees withdrew their nominations. We therefore have 3 nominees standing for the election. The names of the shareholders and their nominators in order of receipt are: number 1, Prince Dr. Anthony Omoni Omojola, nominated by Tijani Oluwanishola Mukadam. Number 2, Mrs. Faith Ekelikosi George, nominated by Opara Clements Anile. 3, Mr. Kolawole Korede Kalejaye, nominated by Kachi Anthony Kanayo and additional Tajuddin Imran.
In view of the confirmation that a total of 3 valid nominations from the shareholders were received, and the 3 shareholder nominees are unopposed, I hereby move that 1, Prince Dr. Anthony Omoni Omojola, 2, Mrs. Faith Ekelikotse George, and 3, Mr. Kolawole Korede Kalejaye, having been validly nominated, be and are hereby elected as members of the Statutory Audit Committee. Will a shareholder please second the motion? Yes. Segun Owolabi.
I, Segun Owolabi, support that motion, representing Western Icon Shareholder Association. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
I hereby declare the motion carried that Dr. Anthony Omoni Omojola, Mrs. Faith Ekelikotse George, and Mr. Kolawole Korede Kalejaye are now elected as members of the Statutory Audit Committee, together with the director nominees, Mr. Ike Osakwe and Mr. Ken Igbokwe. Dear shareholders, please be informed that details of the remuneration of the managers of the company are disclosed on note 11, page 165 of the 2024 annual reports. Note that a resolution is not required to be passed on this item. The first special business we have on the agenda is to approve the remuneration of the non-executive directors. Details of the remuneration are disclosed on page 56 of 2024 annual reports. I hereby move the motion that the remuneration of the non-executive directors be and is hereby approved. Will the shareholder please second the motion? Eke Chubuzo Emmanuel.
Chairman, I support that motion. Eke Chibuzo Emmanuel is the name.
Okay, thank you. I will now call on the representatives of First Registrars to conduct the poll.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. For the purpose of voting on that resolution with the use of USSD, please dial *7006 *61 hash on your mobile phone. Thereafter, you enter 1 in order to verify your phone number. After doing that, after the verification, you enter 1 again in order to vote with your entire unit in Oando PLC. Then you press 1 if you want to vote for that resolution, while you press 2 if you want to vote against that resolution. For the web version, for those in diaspora, like I said, that I mentioned, you had earlier login. What you need to do is just to wait for the resolution to be open, and thereafter you select your voting unit. You either select for if you want to vote for that resolution, or select against if you want to vote against that resolution. The voting time is just for 120 seconds for the voting. Please open the poll. Voting has commenced. "99 seconds left. 97 seconds left. 90 seconds left. Still counting. "75 seconds left. 72 seconds left. 65 seconds left. 59 seconds left. 50 seconds left. 43 seconds left. 35 seconds left. 26 seconds left. The poll is still open. "16 seconds left. 5 seconds left. 8 seconds left. Poll closed. At the end of the voting on that resolution, we have 1,231 shareholders that have voted with the usage of USSD web version and the number of proxies. We now have 8,807,981,773 unit shares voted for that resolution, while we have no dissenting vote. We don't have any against. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much. Following the announcement of the results by the registrar, I hereby declare the motion carried. The second special business we have on the agenda is to consider, and if thought fit, pass with or without modification the following resolution as an ordinary resolution of the company: that pursuant to the rules governing related party transactions of the Nigerian Exchange Limited, a general mandate be and is hereby given, authorizing the company to procure goods, services, and financing, and enter into such incidental transactions necessary for its day-to-day operations from its related parties or interested persons on normal commercial terms, consistent with the company's transfer pricing policy and all relevant transfer pricing regulations in force in Nigeria. That all transactions which were earlier entered into prior to the date of this meeting are hereby ratified. Will a shareholder please second the motion?
By phone. Thereafter, you enter 1 in order to verify your phone number. After you will enter 1 again in order to vote with your entire unit in Oando PLC. Then you either press 1 if you want to vote for that. $90 left. $89 left. 85 left. 79 left. 75 left. 62 left. 60 left. Still counting. The poll is still open.
Maybe they want me to second the next one now.
43 seconds left. 36 seconds left. 28 seconds left. 20 seconds left. 8 seconds left. 8 seconds left. Poll closed. At the end of the voting on that resolution, we have 1,224 shareholders that have voted through proxies, through USSD and the web. And they voted for that resolution with the total shares of 2,599,565,856 shares. No dissenting voice. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much. Following the announcement of the results by the registrar, I hereby declare the motion carried. The third special business we have on the agenda is to consider and, if thought fit, pass with or without modifications the following resolutions as special resolutions of the company. 1, the company be and is hereby authorized to raise additional capital of up to 500 billion naira or its foreign currency equivalent in the Nigerian and or international capital markets through the issuance of up to 10 billion ordinary shares of 50 kobo each, either as the standalone issue or by the establishment of capital raising programs, whether by way of public offerings, private placements, debt to equity conversions, rights issues, and or other transaction modes at prices determined through book building or any other acceptable valuation method or combination of methods at such dates and on such terms and conditions as may be determined by the board of directors of the company, subject to obtaining the requisite regulatory approvals. 2, the board be and is hereby authorized to enter into capital restructuring agreements with key stakeholders and lenders and convert up to $300 million out of the company's existing reserves-based lending, RBL, debt into equity, subject to terms and conditions to be determined by the directors. 3, the board be and is hereby authorized to establish a multi-instrument issuance program in an amount up to $1,500 million only, or its Naira equivalent, and to proceed with subsequent issuances of bonds, certificates, instruments, and or other securities under the program at such time and on such terms and conditions to be determined by the directors, subject to obtaining all relevant regulatory approvals, subject to terms and conditions to be determined by the board. 4, the company be and is hereby authorized to accept surplus monies arising from any potential oversubscription from the capital raising programs in such proportion as may be determined by the board, subject to obtaining the relevant regulatory approvals. 5, the board be and is hereby authorized to enter into any agreements and or execute any documents, appoint such professional parties, perform all such other acts, and do all such other things as may be necessary for or incidental to effecting the above resolutions, subject to obtaining the approvals of relevant regulatory authorities, including without limitation, complying with the directives of any regulatory authority. Will a shareholder please second the motion? Peter Nyanku. Peter Nyanku to second the motion.
I so do, sir. My name is Peter Enyanuku, coordinate Rock Shareholder Association. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much. I will now call on the representative of First Registrars to conduct the poll.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. For the purpose of voting on that resolution, you are using the USSD. Please dial *7006 *61# on your mobile phone. Thereafter, you enter 1 in order to verify your telephone number. Thereafter, you enter 1 in order to select your entire unit you are having in Oando. Yes. Then you now press 1 if you want to vote for that resolution, or you press 2 if you want to vote against. For the purpose of using the web version for those in diaspora, you had earlier logging. All you need to do is just to wait for the resolution to be open. Then you select your voting unit. Either select for or you select against. We are voting against that resolution. The voting time is just for 120 seconds, and the poll is about to be open. Please open the poll. Please open the poll. Please open the poll. Please open the poll. Poll has opened. "78 seconds left. 74 seconds left. 65 seconds left. 40 seconds left. 35 seconds left. 29 seconds left. 13 seconds left. 9 seconds left. 4 closed. At the end of the voting on that resolution, we have 1,220 shareholders that have voted through proxy, through USSD and web. And they voted for that resolution with the total shares of 773,697,045 shares. While we have 5 shareholders that have voted against that resolution with the total shares of 34,114,290 shares. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much. Following the announcement of the results by the registrar, I hereby declare the motion carried. May I just pause for 1 minute before we proceed on the 4th resolution, some technical glitch to be resolved. Please grant us some indulgence. Yes, I apologize for the break in transmission. So we proceed to the 4th special business. The 4th special business we have on the agenda is to consider and, if thought fit, pass with or without modifications the following resolutions as ordinary resolutions of the company. That the approvals granted in resolution 3 above, the board be and is hereby authorized to pass 1, the relevant resolutions increasing the company's share capital by the specific number of new ordinary shares required for the respective capital raising programs undertaken by the company, including any oversubscriptions, and 2, allot such set number of new ordinary shares upon completion of the capital raising programs. And 3, board be authorized to take the necessary steps to cancel any unallotted shares of the company created pursuant to resolutions 3, 4 above. Will a shareholder please second the motion? Adelakun Lukman. Can we have Adelakun Lukman to second the motion, please? Adelakun Lukman, can you hear us?
Okay. You can't hear me. Joseph.
What's that?
Joseph.
Joseph.
Akisoya.
Okay. Can we have Joseph Akisoya second the motion?
Okay.
Joseph Akison Ayadolu. Joseph Akison Ayadolu.
Thank you. Can you second the motion? Can you state that you are seconding the motion, please?
Chairman, Joseph Adeola Akisoya, second the motion.
Okay, thank you very much. I will now call on the representative of first registrars to conduct the poll.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. For the purpose of voting on that resolution with the usage of USSD, please dial *7006 *61# on your mobile phone. Thereafter, you enter 1 in order to verify your telephone number. Thereafter, you enter 1 in order to select your total unit in Oando PLC. After you press 1, you want to vote for that resolution, while you press 2 if you want to vote against the resolution. For the web version, for those in diaspora, all you need to do is just to wait for the poll to be opened on that resolution. Then you now select your voting unit. Then you either select for or against that resolution. The time for the poll is just for 120 seconds, and the poll will soon be open. Please open the poll. Poll has been opened. Voting has commenced. We have 98 seconds left. Eighty-three seconds left. $74 seconds left. 70 seconds left. 62 seconds left. 50 seconds left. 46 seconds left. 40 seconds left. The poll is still open. Still counting. 31 seconds left. 28 seconds left. 25 seconds left. 18 seconds left. 14 seconds left. 10 seconds left. 5 seconds left. 8 seconds left. Poll closed. At the end of the voting on that resolution, we have 1,219 shareholders that have voted through proxies, through USSD and web fashion, and we voted for that resolution with the total shares of 8,772,970,974 shares. While we have 5 shareholders that voted against that resolution with the total shares of 34,240,594 units. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much. Following the announcement of the result by the registrar, I hereby declare the motion carried. The last item on the agenda is to consider, and if thought fit, pass with or without modifications, the following resolution as a special resolution of the company, that upon completion of the capital raising programs and following the increase of the company's share capital and allotment of the new ordinary shares in accordance with the foregoing resolutions, Clause 6 of the Memorandum of Association and Article 3 of the Articles of Association of the company be amended to reflect the company's new issued share capital. Will a shareholder please second the motion? Chief Timothy Ayobami Adesina. Will Chief Timothy?
The chairman, sir, thank you very much. After long waiting, I congratulate you. I congratulate myself. I so second. Thank you. I'm Chief Timothy Adesina. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. I will now call on the representative of First Registrars to conduct the poll.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. For the purpose of voting on that resolution, if you are using the USSD, please dial *7006*61# on your mobile phone. Thereafter, you enter 1 in order to verify your phone number. After which, you enter 1 again in order to select your entire unit in Oando PLC. Then you either press 1 if you want to vote for that resolution. If you want to vote against, please press 2. For the web version for those in diaspora, just wait for the resolution to be open and select your voting unit. Either you select for or you select against, and thereafter you submit. Please note that the time allocated for voting is 120 seconds. The poll will be opened now. Please open the poll. Poll has been opened. Voting has commenced. One hundred and 12 seconds left. 106 seconds left. 99 seconds left. 93 seconds left. 92 seconds left. 89 seconds left. 87 seconds left. 86 seconds left. Still counting. The poll is still open. $70 seconds left. 67 seconds left. 62 seconds left. 58 seconds left. 53 seconds left. 50 seconds left. The poll is still open. I'm still counting. $31 seconds left. 30 seconds left. 24 seconds left. 20 seconds left. 17 seconds left. 12 seconds left. 6 seconds left. 5 seconds left. 2 seconds left. Vote closed. At the end of the voting on that resolution, we have 1,223 shareholders that have voted through proxy USSD web version, with the total shares of 8,773,405,995 shares voted for that resolution. While we have 4 shareholders that voted against that resolution, with the total shares of 34,341,590 shares. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much. Following the announcement of the results by the registrar, I hereby declare the motion carried. There being no further business, ladies and gentlemen, I declare the 46th Annual General Meeting of Oando PLC closed. I thank you for all your attendance today and the support you have continually given to us as directors of your company. Please be reminded to join the EGM at 2 p.m. God bless Oando PLC, God bless us all, and God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Alhaji Kabiru Tambari would lead us in the closing prayers, and we will thereafter take the national anthem.
Mr. Chairman, are you hearing me now?
Yes, we can hear you very clearly.
Okay. Ya Rabbi, Ya Rabbi, Ya Rabbi, Ya Rabbi, Ya Rabbi. Allahu Ar-Rahmanu Ar-Rahim Al-Maliku Al-Quddus As-Salamu Al-Mumin Al-Muhaymin. I pray God Almighty to help us, to help our company, to help Oando Tinubu, to give him good health, long life, and prosperity. As we shareholders happy with our investment, both capital appreciation and the dividend we are expecting, God willing, next year, I pray God Almighty to take Oando to the highest point. As how Oando touched 98 Naira 40 Kobo in September last year, I pray God Almighty before end of this year, Oando will touch 200 Naira. The investors that will come in for our 500 billion Naira, either public or right issue or whatever, I pray God Almighty to help us to succeed. I pray God Almighty to help Nigerian shareholders to give good health, long life to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu so that he can continue fixing Nigeria to the right direction, our economy, the insecurity we are facing in some part of the country. I pray God Almighty to intervene on it. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Ar-Rahmanir Rahim. Maliki Yawmiddin. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Ihdinas siratal mustaqim. Siratal ladzina an'amta alaihim. Ghayril maghlubi alaihim waladdallin. Amin. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much. May we rise for the national anthem, please?
Nigeria, we hail thee, our own dear native land. Though tribes and tongue may differ, in brotherhood we stand. Nigerians all are proud to serve our sovereign motherland. Our flag shall be a symbol that truth and justice reign. In peace, all bow to honor, and this we count as gain. To hand unto our children a banner without stain.